suit and his Nordica boots. He grabbed his gloves and goggles and hat from where he had left them on the table by the radio. "The morning went by too fast," he told her. "When can I see you again?" "I don't know. I think my husband's getting suspicious. He's starting to give me these long, pleading looks." "Is he? Poor guy." Her husband was a ski instructor, the same age as she was, and he felt a pang of unexpected empathy for the young man. "I'll put him teaching beginner's week. That'll keep him occupied." "You're bad," she said with a coy smile. "Not as bad as you are," he whispered back. He kissed her weather-cracked lips, feeling the momentary cold touch of her nose ring against his own nostril. Then he was gone, stepping out from the avalanche hut into the storm. She watched through the frosty window as he got into his skis and pushed off over the cornice of the mountain into the steep chute below. As soon as he was out of sight, she opened a zippered compartment of her red backpack, took out a small cell phone, and punched in a number. "He's on his way," she said into the mouthpiece. She refolded the phone and put it away. Finally, she took off her Eddie Bauer wristwatch, pulled the small silver knob on the side, and reset the time. Correctly now. Back 1/2 hour. How glorious to ski waist-deep, off-piste, through steep virgin powder. This was Beethoven's 9th, and then some. He sang the Ode to Joy at the top of his lungs as he swept down from the high ridge toward the chairlifts and trails below, sending up a plume of white snow in his wake. No, he did not feel 63 years old. Not when he could still climb nearly 750 vertical feet to the avalanche hut in a storm, satisfy a young woman, and then ski down again with effortless ease, and all before noon. In a few minutes he came down from a wide glacier bowl onto the ski area proper and joined those below, not many in this weather, who had come to spend the day on the slopes. Slower, losing ecstasy as he lost speed, he descended part way down an intermediate trail. Finally, he stopped and moved along a small path through the trees to the clearing where he had arranged his meeting this morning. He was the first to arrive. He stood by himself in the falling snow and sighed. He remembered that he had a problem, a big problem possibly, but if all went well. His mind wandered. He laughed suddenly, thinking of the girl's clitoral jewelry, wondering what a Generation X couple said to the guard at the airport when their genital wedding bands set off the alarm at the security check. It was not a particularly profound thought, but as it happened, it was the last clear thought he ever had. He heard a sound behind him. He turned with a smile still on his lips, his lovely boyish smile. But as he turned, something struck him in the chest with enormous force. An iron fist, a locomotive, a battering ram, but stronger still. It shook every part of him and made the world go dim and woozy. He stood stupidly in shock, his mouth open. His eyes traveled downward. My God, there was an arrow sticking out of his blue powder suit. A wooden shaft, colored feathers at the end to guide its flight. An arrow had pierced his chest. He stared at the thing in astonishment. Just to make certain, he reached with one hand and touched the shaft. It was real, all right. No hallucination. Someone had shot him with a goddamn arrow. He looked up with genuine curiosity to see who could have done this terrible thing, but his head was heavy. He struggled to squint and focus his eyes. There seemed to be a dark figure standing in the snow in front of him, hardly more than a black outline against the blinding white. A ghost, perhaps. That's what it looked like to him. And the ghost was coming toward him, floating just a little, twirling to some distant music. The ghost was dancing. He saw that now. A dancing ghost with a bow in hand, come to take him home. Part 1. Philosophical Divisions at the Top of the Food Chain. 1. Howie met the lady in white and her daughter on a chairlift in a late-season storm. He didn't learn her real name for some time, so that's how he continued to think of her, as the lady in white. For a day that soon turned ugly, she made an attractive start. The memory of her became forever linked in his mind with the white sky, the mountains.